And okay, welcome everyone to Stone Stew Poetry. Future features to be announced. Due to circumstances all over the weekend, we lost poet Glenn Lucci. He was found, he was lost and then finally found and found to be passed on and passed away and moved on. There are memorials I know being planned to various degrees. I'm going to be sitting down with some of the organizers to figure out what's going on. There was actually some kind of gathering that went on Monday after he was pronounced dead on Sunday. So I'm hoping we can get something together. So all of us, there's still some of my friends that don't know he passed away yet because they're off doing their own thing away from Twitter and even their phones. So I'm hoping once everyone is able to get together, we can figure that out. And that's all I'll say about it now. Most people here never got to hear Glenn Lucci Furman. If you have not, I recommend looking for his stuff online. Not only because I did post some stuff on YouTube, but also because there's more coming. I found a bunch of videos that I've never got the chance to put up because putting up videos became too much of a process, and I couldn't keep up with the tech and the style of the files. I bought a pricey camera, but then it created videos that I couldn't process on my regular Windows processor. So it was a movie maker. So it was a comedy of errors for several years. So I'm several years behind, but it would be nice to put some leafy videos up in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for announcement for the features in September. Some you will recognize, some you will not. And with that, let's move on. A lot of people who are coming back after a small absence. Hard to pick who's who when it's such a reunion, but I'm going to go with Bill Lewis, who's chomping at the bit outside his brand new porch. Congratulations, Bill, and take it away.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Chad. Oh, I'm so excited. How often do I get the opportunity to be poet number one? And in such a beautiful day and such situation. Oh, life is beautiful. Oh, and I don't know if you can see my Donald Duck, but I now have a Donald Duck scarecrow. I am getting ready for the great events. Oh, what a wonderful life I live. I mean, other than the crappy parts, it was perfect. So as you probably have heard, because I talk a lot, I am a member of Toastmasters International, and we have an international convention, and out of 250,000 members, a bunch of us converged for our 100th anniversary convention. 100 years ago, Ralph C. Smedley started Toastmasters, and I arrived at Orange County's John Wayne Airport on Sunday and Ubered to my Airbnb, and then a half-mile walk in the very intense California sunshine and heat. I'm here alone, feeling a bit alone. But there are a few other early Toastmasters who are there in the hotel, and we can talk and enjoy our $20 cocktails. I see and greet several PIPs, past international presidents. My first year as the Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, our governor went batshit crazy. She was so angry and mean and just dishonest that they came out and everybody knew who I was because I was involved. And she got ejected from Toastmasters, but they knew who I was and respected me. And now they talk to me. The great, powerful presidents of the world talk to me. Woo-hoo-hoo! We entered a vast hall bathed in magnetic blue light. The stage was 1,700 people away, all mingling and chatting and wandering. Groups from each district cluster together and tentatively reach out to others as they pass. An enormous screen stands in front. Every chair is a good chair. 146 flags, a glorious procession, loud applause. I cannot recognize more than a quarter of these flags. There is muted applause for the Russian flag versus the bolster acclaim for the Ukrainian flag. Israel and Palestine pass, both cautiously acknowledged. As you may know, there are 14 international directors out of 250 people, and voting, there's a lot of voting. And we're sitting there voting, and they tell us on your cell phones, use this app. No, restart the app. No, do it again. Turn off your cell phone and start it again. There'd be a long pause, and the sound guy would crank up the music during the pauses, and we would dance in the aisles, around the stage, in conga lines throughout the hall. Oh. Our history corner talked all about Ralph C. Smedley, and they had his desk there with his telephone and typewriter and thousands of notes and booklets and advertisements, and John F. Kennedy signing a proclamation. Pictures of Toastmasters who had a Toastmasters club in the German POW camps. And Helen Blanchard, our first international female vice president, I knew her slightly because she was a friend of my mom's. They refused to accept her application in 1973 as H. Blanchard, insisting on a first name because women were trying to sneak into Toastmasters. So her club did the most reasonable thing possible. They held a table topics contest to decide on her name. Homer, they decided, because that way she could be Helen of Troy and Homer, and she could be the Trojan horse in Toastmasters. And yeah, she always said that she was not trying to be a groundbreaker, not a trailblazer, an activist, just trying to be a Toastmaster. It was wonderful. I met so many people and so many things happened. I was so worried. I was so lonely sometimes. And I was walking down the halls. I was looking for someone to talk to, and they wouldn't talk to me. And I walked down once or twice, and then everyone was staring at me because I looked like an idiot walking down this hall all alone. And I just run outside. I can't stand it. I'm just like, everybody was just staring at me because I am an idiot. And of course they weren't, and they didn't think but it feels like that sometimes. And I take a breather, and then I walk back in with confidence and look around and smile at people. And sooner or later, I find someone that I can talk to. On the final day, we have the great president's dinner dance, and peek my head in, but the dance is so loud that I go back and put newspaper in, toilet paper in my ears so I won't go deaf. But then I go out at midnight to the sing-along, where Ted Cochran, our international president from 2003, leads a sing-along at the end of our glorious conference. And we finish by linking our arms, and in a trance, we recite our final prayer like we always do. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. And we sing the song about a man saying goodbye to his son who's moving to America, praying his son comes back someday to pray upon his own grave back in Ireland. And Ted Cochran, who of course is Irish, reminds us that this group of 20 or 30 people shall never meet again. In a year, many of us are old and we will be passed on. He himself is very old and frail and might not be here in a year. So come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunshine and in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
Thank you for that lovely recitation. I don't know if it beats the Muppets Beaker, Animal, and the Swedish Chef singing Danny Boy. With Animal riffed on the line going, oh Danny boy, oh Danny, oh boy. But I'd say yours is at least a close third. Oh Danny boy. Okay. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. And let's go now to Miss Jan Rowe and pray we can hear her.
Be it on Zoom. Okay, bye-bye.
She's here.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you this week. This is awesome.
Let's hope so.
We'll see if the,
It's coming. You're coming in 1,000% better than last week.
right, okay. This is just a draft about the Department of Justice suing Real Page for fixing rents because, hey, this A1 stuff, that was the only way they could get double-digit rent increases because otherwise the leasing agents, they had to give away from the leasing agents. They had to do revenue management on the A1, you know, because when they can't make the money, you got to do it. So the leasing agents were peers of those trying to rent. There was too much empathy.
Uh-oh.
They got to get the rents out of theirs. Which reminds me, when I got my vaccine, the woman's daughter had just come home. Her rent went from like, it was going up $700. No, it was going up $1,000 unless she signed a lease. Then it was just going up 700. It's just a draft. Thank you. Real Page sued by the Department of Justice. Thank you. It's just a draft.
Thank you, Jan. And welcome back for reals. Who are we going to bring up next? I'd like to bring up next Mr. Mark States.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Root beer float? Oh, hell yeah. I empty the bottle, watching foam rise over a cumulus cloud of vanilla ice cream. I dip spoon into foam and ladle onto tongue, and man, this tastes good. I am 10 years old with Grandma at the 38th Avenue fountain. First, a cheeseburger, then French fries, then that mouth-watering root beer float that makes me just thinking about it. Lunch at the 38th Avenue fountain was me and my brother's reward for behaving while getting our haircuts next door at the 38th Avenue barber shop. Yeah, we were creative with business names in my neighborhood. But the time I behaved while my brother did not? Oh, come on. I can eat and he can starve. I don't care. But Grandma was way too smart for that. And she was very wise. With her elbows on the counter, burger cradled in her petite hands as though she is returning a newborn baby to its mother's arms, Grandma chats with the waitress about history and politics, trivia, the best way to cook pig's feet, and man, I just love being here by Grandma's side, watching adult conversation bubble up like the foam in the root beer float. Grandma's eyes twinkling like the glass right before she bellies up in laughter. Eventually, Grandma died, and there were no more trips to the 38th Avenue fountain. Mom did not believe in bribery. Just get your hair cut and shut the fuck up. So nope. I was a grandmama's boy, always at her feet like a puppy dog. Grandma tells me all these stories about growing up on a farm. She shows me how to pickle watermelon rinds and how to cook up a mean pot of greens. So here I am in a rundown cafe just off Main Street in Grandma's hometown of Vermilion, South Dakota. A bottle of Sioux City root beer in front of me glistens in the afternoon sun to the brim, and overflowing like the foam am I with love for my grandmother. Man, this tastes good. I dip spoon into foam, ladle on the tongue, empty the bottle, foam rises, cumulus clouds, vanilla ice cream, root beer float. Oh, hell yeah. The
I
end.
haven't looked back. I haven't looked back since I've given up Coca-Cola and most dark sodas, but now I'm starting to wish I had one more root beer float with IBC. Ooh, thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome, Chad. Anytime.
We're gonna bring up next Miss Jackie Oldham. Welcome back.
Thank you, Chad. Nice to be back. I'm at war with a lot of stuff right now, mostly technical and, computer related, but for tonight, I have a brand new PIP, poem in progress, about the change of seasons, which is part of my crazy mood I've been in, but here we go. The days grow short, soft light, longer shadows morning and evening. Crows descend on the lawn or in the middle of the street, pecking at whatever they find to eat. Paying no mind to interruptions, they fly to the trees for a moment, then descend again. First one, then the whole lot, to the same spot, owning their territory. The end. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. And now let's bring up Miss Patricia Kerrigan. Everybody.
Okay. Little Girl Blue, inspired by Nina Simone. She's alone again. The raindrops on her window count the years she's been blue. She bought a cake. It's her birthday, and the sun forgot to come. She's a big girl now, 45, 55, 65, or 75, going on 35, 25, 15, or 5. She's still that little girl who can't forget the time of her first and only party. The invitations were sent, but no one came. She's much older now, more invisible to happiness than the year before. She's lonely. The raindrops keep her company, as well as a solitary blue candle on the red velvet cake. She's angry. She takes revenge on the flickering candle, blows out its dancing glory, wishes for her birthday to go up in smoke. She's crying and says to hell with love. Her fork stabs the first slice. Her hopes grow slimmer. Her waistline grows broader. She cuts another slice of caloric bliss. The raindrops bang harder. The blues feed her mood. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia. And we'll be on the lookout for Brownstone Poets, the new anthology. With a cat cover. Surprising? Not if you know Patricia or her work. Or her Facebook photos, or her photos in general. Let us go now to Mr. Edward Galt.
Hmm.
So, thank you very much. I'm going to read from my book, or they would say in the German, mein Buch, a poem that I guess came to mind when I just recently, I mean, I wrote it a while ago, but it came to mind again when Gus Waltz reacted to his father's speech and he cried. He was very moved by it. And then, like, all the right wingers kind of pounced on him and laughed at him. Made me think of all the kids who get left behind or left out, who aren't understood in one way or the other. I just really felt kind of bad that that's like what half the country is like. But anyway, this is for, I guess tonight's reading I should maybe dedicate to Gus Waltz. And it's called Staying Behind, and it's kind of a metaphor of it. Primarily it's about a child who gets left behind on a field trip, but it could be about a lot more, really. Called Staying Behind. Somewhere there is a classroom. There are around 20 or so desks for the children. A larger desk is up front for the teacher, but there are only 2 people there now. A girl sitting at her desk working on arithmetic problems. Nearby is a teacher's aide to watch over her while the class is away. She will take her to the cafeteria for lunch, then the library. For recess, she will play with the kids from the next class who are in attendance for that day. They will go on the field trip tomorrow, or they went yesterday. She will not go at all. She will be taken to stay at her desk until she completes the sheet. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Everyone's on point tonight. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go now to Miss Jackie Chow. Another return after a
Hi.
while. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
it's really hard for me to go to readings because I don't have internet at home. So anyway, and I'm at Starbucks right now. So anyway, I'm gonna read an ekphrastic poem that's forthcoming in the ekphrastic review. It's called Woman in a Yellow Dress, after William de Kooning. You know who I am by my bright dress and red hair, my face a gray, blurry space to hang my crooked eyes and lips. I'm only an impression of a real woman who can cook, give birth, and raise children. I have been erased only to appear again, and now I'm worth millions to the world and myself, enjoying this party of one on my high wall. Okay, that's one. And I'm going to read a recent poem that I've written, and it's a true story. Not of the topic, well, it's called Passing Marilyn Monroe's Grave, which is a true story. I almost accidentally passed by her grave while visiting Westwood a while back. So it's called Passing Marilyn Monroe's Grave. I was once unimpressed by the flip of your white skirt in the wind. A lark I was, happy in my own brown, ordinary ways. Then I saw something in your gunmetal blue eyes, and I stopped singing. I stopped soaring too, my wings now carrying a new weight. The longer I stared at your face, the darker the gray sky became. Thank you. 2 very short poems.
Thank you, Jackie. And now, we're closer to the end of round 1. Let's go now to, oh yes, Mr. Richard Spezak, and I should thank him for posting the interview we did a couple of weeks back. I swear I was funny about funnier at least 1 or 2 weeks ago, or at least I thought I was. At least I could laugh at my jokes. But check out all his episodes with John Wizik. I didn't know there was one with Robert Fleming, so I'm gonna check that out. And that must have
And
been fun
Patricia
to
Kerrigan, don't forget Patricia.
Oh yeah, Patricia. I already posted about Patricia's video. As I actually was able to view it live, which was fun. So, and which you can do if you're lucky. But so subscribe to Poets of the East Facebook page, not Facebook page, a YouTube page, and also click the bell. So if there's live shows, you'll be notified. Like
Thank you,
and
sir.
subscribe.
This is
So here you
a
go. Take it away, Richard.
Splendid appearance. Okay,
Thank
this is a little piece, true and accurate as the news goes. It's called Oklahoma Lost a Teacher. Now, you may find this hard to believe. Oklahoma lost a teacher. It really wasn't quite sane, and it surely wasn't prudent, and it wasn't good for their brains. The tiniest minds made up a law, and you'll see if you look, it had the tiniest of flaws. What could they do when turned from education with lies? They definitely weren't smart. They definitely weren't wise. They would not see what they couldn't see, no more than they could take a quick stroll across the rolling Zuyder Zee. They wanted the world to fit in a cup, and it just wasn't going to do it. Well, that's it. What's up? They liked their fairy tales, that much is true, but they sadly, madly wanted them for me, and they insisted on you too. And if the world wouldn't fit in their tiny old box, they'd rather just pout, take off their shoes, and darn it, walk barefoot on rocks. And it didn't matter to them if they banged their toes on simple facts that everyone knows. They wanted to outlaw those kind of facts. They insisted reality stop right there in its tracks. From all the big world, they just wanted to hide. It didn't matter to them if reality didn't coincide. They wanted their facts. They wanted them now. They didn't like reality. They'd rather not have it. No way, no how. One little teacher stood up to the mob. She actually wanted to teach, though, even if it cost her her job. To show her students what the law had done, she blocked off the library books with red tape, each and every single one. She roped off the library right there in their face. She showed them how stupid, how totally and utterly bereft of grace. When laws are quite stupid, it just makes no sense. The rest was censored.
Very, very nice. Thank you, Richard. Richard will be featuring before the beginning of November. Why? I couldn't possibly tell you. Let's well, maybe I could. But most of you can figure it out, I'm sure.
Checks in the mail.
And now we have he gave us an amazing who done it or who didn't do it or who ended up doing it regarding his last serialized thriller here on the open mic. He gave us the what was it? The Dilettante Olympics. I am saying that completely wrong, and I was waiting for you to actually make yourself seen. Like, how does he not know, despite my screw ups, that I'm talking about him? And let's see if we have something that's gonna take him 8 minutes to read in one breath, or if he's got a new serialized adventure for us. Take it away, John.
May I share the screen, Chad?
You're good to go.
Okay.
Without Robert, I didn't have anyone keep me on my toes.
Okay, so what the hell? I went to Montreal because it's only a 5 hour drive. It was my first post-pandemic holiday, and I got COVID. So there we go. Anyway, just here's a few pictures of Montreal, just for the heck of it. This is Monsieur Rose or Mr. Pink, and these statues were all over the place. It was something called Minionism, which is some sort of artistic minimalism, and I don't know anything more about it. Here's more Monsieur Rose. This is by something called UQAM, UQAM. And I said, what the hell's UQAM? Must be some sort of college. Université de Québec à Montréal. That's what it is. I figured it out. Some little Banksy thing on a building. Want some cheese with that? This is poutine. Poutine is French fries with gravy and cheese, basically. It's all right. It's not bad. I don't know. Don't love it. Don't hate it. I eat it again, but I wouldn't go out of the way for it. Some murals. This was my eggs Benedict. I ate at some little restaurant called Allo Mon Coco, and how could you not eat at a restaurant called Allo Mon Coco? And the little drink there had bobas. The bobas like the boba tea, but they actually had grapefruit inside, which was kind of neat. Old Town. Old Town. This is a square with some, I don't know, French trappers or something like that. This is the Notre Dame Cathedral. Still the Notre Dame Cathedral, the outside. More Old Town. More Old Town. Some more Old Town. Here's a chili pepper on a store. Oh, there's the Notre Dame Cathedral on the inside. There it is, Notre Dame Cathedral on the inside. There's a good picture there. I was standing in line to get tickets with some Americans, and I actually ordered the tickets in French, and they were very, impressed that I spoke a little bit of French. I reviewed my college French, and usually when I spoke to the Quebecers, I'd maybe get a sentence or two out before they'd realize that I wasn't very good at French, and they'd switch to English. So that was okay. At least we communicated. Here's a couple, the little square outside the church, band's playing. This is two statues. Here's a woman with a French poodle sticking her nose up when she's looking at the English bank. And here is a man holding an English bulldog, sticking his nose up, looking at the French church. And I guess that's somehow, emblematic of the French and English in Canada. This is by the Old Port. This is by the Old Port again. It says marché spelled out in vegetables. I'm not really sure if it means bon marché as a goodbye or if it means marché as walk. I'm not really sure. Here's a little boat there by the port building. I think this says Vieux Quai, which means Old Port. More Old Port stuff. Nice building. Same nice building. Some nice buildings. Statue. This is some priest in the Old Town. There we go. Somebody had a nice Lamborghini. Neat kind of building with a little walkway there. This is this is a regular sized chair. This is a big sized chair. As Olo Mon Coco, I had to take a picture of that. Here's a couple, I don't know, storefront. Little Monopoly board. Also, it's kind of interesting. They had one of these chessboards, these big chessboards in the pavilion there, and like a uniformed police officer was playing against the black guy. He had white, the black guy had black, and eventually the policeman pushed his pawn and promoted to queen, and the black guy resigned. And then the policeman came up, breathed a big sigh of relief, and said something to me in French, like, oh man, I'm so glad I got this. I don't know what he said, but I just sort of nodded like I understood what he was saying, and he went off happy. Chinatown, more Old Port buildings. There's the Notre Dame again, and another same stuff we've seen before. Anything else? This is Old Town mural. Mr. Pink again. La Centrale. Okay, so this is there's a food court there that was kind of neat. Yeah, of course they're French, and so the food's pretty good. I think the best thing I had there really was a banh mi with tofu, a tofu banh mi. Banh mi is the Vietnamese sandwich, and of course they had good French bread, and the toppings are really great. So no matter whatever kind of meat you get on there, it's okay. More Mr. Pink, more Mr. Pink. What else we got here? That's everything. All right, good enough. Anyway, Montreal, five hour drive, not that far. If you have a Quebecois name like Parenteau, you should maybe go. But don't get COVID like I did.
Right. I haven't figured out a strategy for Canada because my strategy for traveling to every other country and island I've been to is to say I'm from Canada. So
Oh,
my defenses
yeah,
are down.
yeah.
I'm a Canadian who knows nothing of my home roots because my family has all but forgotten them. But
Yeah, I don't know.
someday I'll do an
It's easy to go. You just drive up. You have to stop at immigration, but like the question for a few minutes. It's
my
5 hours,
girlfriend's part.
maybe 6 hours to you. I bet to Quebec City too. You could probably do both of them.
We'll go someday. My girlfriend's been there at least twice. She's French Canadian as well, so I figure it's got to be for a white person who doesn't tan well. It's got to be the Holy Land for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
there
have
you go.
to.
Yeah, there you go. Nova Scotia's nice too. That's also a good drive.
Bunch of pasty, overly polite white people. That's what I need. I've uh pasty white people who sound like they've been in the service sector way too long. Uh, I'm game. Let's go now to our closer for the round robin round one. I gotta figure out a better name to say that. Let's go to Mr. James Van Loy.
Thanks, Chad. This is called having a brain. My wife says I can't help it because I know too much. But actually, I know I don't really know a thing since because we never really can know anything the same way everything still is changing. The Buddha got it right between the eyes, and I refer back to Vietnamese saint of Theravadian Buddhism, where he instructs me on youtube.com about walking as meditation on breath, and simultaneously here on Free Speech TV about study of those walking in nature and how they measure the better effect of those like me in Dorchester Park, immersed in trees and insect sound, regular heartbeat, steady even breathing, with the breathing trees compared to control group there on busy city street, crowd and cars I've left behind in pandemic. I automatically have a human brain somehow made me seek my refuge, walking through every green park path all the way down along the river, way around the old Civil War cemetery, Cedar Grove, next to the tidal flats of the Neponset River. And here's my response to Danny Boy. Oh, mother dear, the sirens are wailing from street to street and through the city side. The frontier's gone, an ancient forest failing, and it is I did go, but you did bide. But I come back when summer's on the common, or when the snow halts the traffic's run, and I'll be there when peace breaks out and war is done. Oh, mother dear, oh, mother dear, I'm still your son. Thank you.
Probably because I'm recovering from whatever the hell I had, which is whatever the hell my girlfriend had 2 weeks back. Um, I'm not talking as much, but I do want to urge you to check out Oddball Magazine. Check out It's All One Thing, which is every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. James' regular poem column. Interesting time is that odd ball. There is there's going to be an absence for a while. There's been an absence for a while with our cartoonist Jeffrey Fallon. He used to be a visitor here. There's he's on indefinite hiatus. Jason Wright is taking some time off, and he, for the first time, did not have a, poem up this week, and it might not be for a while longer. That being said, we are looking for contributors, especially anyone who wants to contribute to political. We're looking for more of that, looking for more artwork, for more Pride stuff. So I'll probably be sending out another formal call post next Tuesday, and you guys are welcome to spread that around. And hopefully there's actually some calls for submissions that are happening. They're going to be all up on September 1st. There's some kind of downtown poetry festival in Boston, which I guess is also celebrating the anniversary of Edgar Allan Poe. I've had very little time to look at this, let alone respond to it, but I'm going to hopefully post that tomorrow during what's going to be a light day of work. So stay tuned for that and other things. And what else? Oh, yes, it's time to go back to start. Collect $200, pass go, and we're going to go back to Mr. Lewis if he's willing to have another go at it.
Of course I am. What do they say? Stage time, stage time, stage time. Never give an opportunity up to talk. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh my lordy, lordy, lordy. Oh, I am in so much pain. All this garbage about being out in nature is good for you is bullshit. Let me tell you. I just climbed Scotchman's Peak. It's only 5 miles and 5,000 feet of elevation gain, but oh my God, my poor body is in pain. It's not the going up part that hurts, it's coming down. Oh,
And that ball's where you're hiding the morphine, Bill?
I tell you, I could use some right now. My legs hurt. Anyway, I do not mean to speak of, I just did. Who cares? So somebody named my rooster Spartacus. I don't remember who it was. I just had a picture of the rooster on Facebook, and somebody said Spartacus, and it seemed reasonable. So he is now 1 year and 2 weeks old, and starting about 2 weeks ago, he the rooster. Spartacus rebels. Memories sweet and warm, all the little chicks climbing onto my hand to peck at mealworms. Their tiny feet tickle me so they love me. Spartacus loved me. I was once his favorite human being. He showed off his new flock to me when he grew, proudly to see his offspring revel in food and dance on Daddy Bill's hand again for year of happy, peaceful coexistence until he found his power and sharpened his claws and came to attack. From the rear, drawing blood. Bastard, too far, Spartacus, too far. Our final battle will soon commence. I'm the human, I shall win. I crushed him. Good, held his beak to the ground until he lay quiet. And something I don't think that took, for he sprang up and dashed away, never to approach me again. Yeah, so me and chickens, these are not my chickens. I did not ask for these chickens. They were here when I moved here, and I was left with them, and I have to deal with them. Chickens, damn it, damn chickens. He cut my leg, bastard.
My dad had similar words about me and my sister. Anyway, I didn't cut my leg. That was totally my sister's fault. Thank you, Bill. We are moving on, and we can go back now to Jan Rowe if she's ready. She's gone.
No, I got something.
Okay, cool.
She's coming. She has arrived. Oh,
Round two, ding ding. Fight.
This is kind of strange because, you know, I was kicked out of a viewing of when my great uncle passed, but we didn't know him. And I had been crying with the mourners, and my younger sister looked at me and we started to laugh, and then my mother kicked us out. So I just sent that sister a t-shirt that says, "When I die, take the flowers off the top of my casket, turn around and toss them and see who's next." So anyway, okay, no, but I have a new t-shirt I'm gonna get. It says, "I can tell by looking at them that they're judgmental." Okay, well, anyway, I'm in a writing, besides the Black Seed Writers, the Cathedral of St. Paul, we're doing a Speak Neighbor thing every couple months, and this next one, she's suggesting gratitude, but she says whatever you want. So I started this. I thought that I would be more grateful that my friend landlord wasn't dead when I thought he was dead. I feared he was dead because after he told of losing control of the car on 2 separate occasions, what the medical people said blacking out. However, he managed to drive to Newton Wellesley, supposedly a less of an ER line, but it turned out to be 6 hours. Okay, so oh, that's all I have. Sorry. Okay, it's just a draft. Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jan. And now we go back to Mr. Mark States.
Okay, thank you very much. Roads we take. Grandpa preferred back roads and levee highways, once outside the Bay Area on our way to weekend fishing in the Delta. Sometimes in the 61 Chevy Impala, sometimes in a pickup truck with short camper over the bed, rolling in the shadows of eucalyptus trees, lining a road resembling a never-ending gap-toothed smile, between which was not tongue, but weeping willows waving back at sunlight shimmering on river's surface. Levee road so narrow, 18-wheelers going the other way slowed down, so we could pass without bumping into each other, with a twist of the hips and a mutual nod in silence. Apart from occasional sucker punch odor of skunk roadkill, Grandpa found the back roads peaceful, tranquil. Unlike the freeway and its mad rush of cars like a colony of ants streaming frantically between discarded candy bar and home. The point of getting away from the city, after all, is getting away from the city traffic. Nonetheless, Grandpa was strict about laws and rules. One Friday evening, we took a different route, leaving the levee road by turning right at a partially camouflaged T-bone intersection. This portal of 2 trees, whose branches are in a shoving match, I fully expected to take us to a haunted hallow even creatures of the woods dare not tread. Instead, no trees, no gargantuan tarantula nests, no traffic, no crops, no farm equipment or farm buildings for that matter. Just block after block of bland concrete, perfectly neat and straight. A light pole every 50 feet. A vast nothingness. And yet we are not going nowhere fast. We are going nowhere at 30 miles per hour because that is the speed limit. Tick, tick, tick goes the turn signal at Grandpa's command. I turned around and looked out the rear window. No cars, just that nothingness. Grandpa, why are you using the turn signal? Because that is the rule of the road. You always give people a signal that you are turning. But Grandpa, I don't see anybody. It does not matter. It's the law. And as long as they can see you, there is no accident. As I've gotten older, I understand it's not what you drive or where you drive, but how you drive, which matters. The end.
Lovely work, sir. Thank you so much. And let's go now to back to Jackie Olden. I'm sure has something. Oh, okay, passing. Gotcha. Okay, not a problem. Then we go ahead one space to Patricia Kerrigan.
Rainy day haiku. Oh yeah, the Christmas tree. Not yet. See you in November. Rainy day haiku. Sunday afternoon. Raindrops fall, his flutes call. Sunday afternoon. Raindrops follow, his flutes call. By cedar bushes, fire escapes reflection near rusted hanger. By cedar bushes, fire escapes reflection near rusted hanger. Inside puddle, fire escapes twin, acorns, first bath. Inside puddle, fire escapes twin, acorns, first bath. And last, tuxedo cat seeks shelter, paw prints in mud. Tuxedo cat seeks shelter, paw prints in mud. It's all happening because I took a reel of what was happening outside my window, and all these haiku came about from it. Thanks. Yeah, the Christmas tree. Not yet. Not yet.
Not until October 1st at latest, but
I'll be in Halloween mode.
Oh, come on. Christmas sales start just before Halloween.
I don't care. I want
the nightmare before Christmas.
Christmas,
Hello.
right. I have a haiku about that.
Boo, down
I have
with
a haiku for
Christmas.
that. I have a haiku for that. Believe me, I have it.
Do you want us to read it now or save it for later?
Okay, hold on. Let me open up the thing. Hold on. This is because I walked into Kohl's department store and that, oh shit, and this was like a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago. They already have, oh, come on, this, Dog Days Heat Wave. The night before Christmas hits the shelves. Dog Days Heat Wave. The night before Christmas hits the shelves. It's actually did at Kohl's department store a few weeks ago. Based on truth. Now I shut up and say goodnight.
All right, here we go. Oh yes, Mr. Edward S. Galt, you're up. If you're up for round two, we're up for you.
I am. A little while before we started, we were all talking about when we'd be considered venerable, when we were very old or when we were dead. I guess by way of an answer to that, I have this poem here I published in my book on page 36 of my book called Funeral. And I thought into tonight with a little humor. So this is kind of my attempt at black humor. Okay, it's called Funeral. I sometimes imagine what my funeral will be like. People will stand around my coffin. Of course, it will be raining. It always is in these scenes. Oh, dreary day. People will be standing around drinking scotch and reaching for potato salad. They will be talking about what a spectacular career I could have had if only I had not been a poet. And the corpse looks terribly old. Even so, I know it's me. There's a huge coffee stain on my shirt. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Galt, Mr. Magister. With Jackie Chow having to leave early. Congrats on her publication. Let's go now. We'll move one space forward to Mr. Richard Spizak once again.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go in a completely different direction. This is called There's Been Some Mistake. A lovely mistake, the kind of mistake that puts fish in your lake, the kind of mistake that makes a baker's dozen look like your cousin counted. He should be so talented. There's been a mistake, the kind of mistake that puts an extra piece of cake on your plate. The kind of mistake that gives you rainbows at morning and then without any warning, a visit from friends where the fun never ends. They've delivered extra joy this year. I saw them load the bundles and the boxes. It was clear. See, last year there was a shortage, chum, so tell them now it's come around. They're sprinkling extra joy in buckets, bags, and boxes, some stacked in cute little wagons pulled by foxes. That's it. Can you hear the sound? The music of children's laughter all around. Grab a ladle, spread it around. They've shipped extra joy this year, I found. Twice enough for everyone, every girl and boy stuffed with 10 times the extra fun. And all you have to do is pick it up. They send along giant cups to help. Don't be shy. Take one for yourself. It seems that all they want to do is just pick it up. Don't wait. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Don't explain or even floral rhymes expound. You can, as useful grown-up near, points them out to kids around here. And when you spot some of it, don't be lofty or even profound and leave it spoiling there on the grassy ground. The way you can help is spread it around. And when you spot some kid who needs some extra joy, whether they be girl or whether they be boy. By the way, I have to point out, you see a beret. I'm wearing this beret. It was a gift from my daughter. My two daughters, both marathon runners, went to Paris for the Olympics. And what she brought me back when I didn't go was a beret she purchased in the Louvre.
Ooh, nice.
I ask you, not just an authentic Parisian beret, but from the goddamn Louvre. Thank you.
Love the Louvre. Let's speaking of travel, let's see if John Weswick has anything inspiring from travel or just in his own head.
Well, I have a confession to make, and I hope you won't think badly of me.
You never went to Montreal?
I was never very good at quantum field theory. I know. But this guy, Robert Klauber, just came out with a second volume of a student-friendly quantum field theory books, this one on the Standard Model. And to read it, I had to look at the first volume, review that, about quantum electrodynamics. And of course, quantum electrodynamics is the easy problem. This was the one that was solved in the 1940s by Feynman, Schwinger, and Tomonaga. They got the Nobel Prize for it. That's the easy physics. So here is a poem called Over Easy. It's easy for electrons to be electrons, but despite his name, E. E. Cummings struggled with Feynman diagrams. Matter's basic building blocks should be simple as toast, but there are infinities in the butter dish, complications in the jam. A hearty S matrix is a great way to start the day. Just add 1 teaspoon of coffee to 6 pages of integrals. Renormalize the bacon before firing up the griddle and cook those Lagrangian densities over easy. A trillion electrons laugh at the Dyson expansion, time-ordered operators, and Wick's theorem as a graduate student chokes down an artery-clogging textbook.
And now we bring you to our closer is closing early, or is closing earlier than thought. Let's go now by once again back to Mr. James Van Loy.
Hi.
Hello.
So I've got a very short poem here and a song I want to sing. So this is called Binary 2, a Binary 2. And actually I wrote this with one of the guys that comes to Black Seed Writers. He actually kind of started it and I finished it. So anyway, this is just a short poem called Binary 2. Mechanical AI selves coming together as one. Build the puzzle of life, black hole in the sky right there in Revelations. We're all God. And now it's the ultimate sin, worshiping golden idols, the gilded calf raised so high on the altar of sacrifice to all that we so finally have made. And here's the song. This is from Kinky Friedman. Kinky Friedman ran for governor in 2006, and he just died in the early part of August. So he was quite a cowboy star character. Faded, jaded, falling cowboy star. Punches itching for your old guitar. Where you're going, God only knows. The sequins have fallen from your clothes. Once you heard the Apri crowd applaud, now you're hanging out at 4th and Broad on the rain-wet sidewalk, remembering the time when coffee with a friend was still a dime. Everything's been sold American. The early time is finished and the want at all are red. Everyone's been sold American, been dreaming dreams in a rollaway bed. Writing down your memories on some window in the frost. Blue eyes reflecting another morning lost. Hauled in by the metro for killing time and pain, with a singing brakeman screaming through your veins. Everything's been sold American. The lonely night is mourning for the death it never dies. Everyone's been sold American, but let me catch you laughing when the jukebox cries. You told me you were born so much higher than life, but I've seen the faded pictures of your children and wife. Now they're finally going through your wallet and trying to find your name. It's almost like they've raised the price of fame. And everything has been sold American. No place to go then, brother, no place to stay. Everyone's been sold American. Let heaven's golden greyhound roll your soul away. And I just wanted to celebrate that guy's little lyric there because I think it was pretty good writing. Thank you.
Thank you all so very much. Thank you, James, and thanks to Bill Lewis all the way down for coming tonight and closing out. Not as extravagant as I wanted it to be, but I've seen some shit this week. So hopefully next week, by next month, we'll have a full appraisal of who's going to be featuring when, at least for the month of September. And I do have some ideas for October and November. A couple of old friends of Stone Soup have already promised that they have availability this fall for their new books. So I'm taking advantage of that. And hope there might be some people who you've probably never seen here since the online adaptation of Stone Soup, and probably not since not seen in person if you're a Bostonian since the old days of Out of the Blue in the old 106 Prospect Street location. Never mind the Central Street Square location. So I'm getting primed for that. And I got a lot more to announce in the days to come as we put August to a close. Kids go back to school, and I get a little bit more time to work on the events. I'll be looking forward to sharing them with you. You guys have yourself a good night.
Who's kidnapped James Van Looy? Who's kidnapped James Van Looy and replaced him with somebody else? What's happening here? Where is he?
He's
Where's
still
his-
there. It's just that his hat was kidnapped. We're figuring out where that is. We're cracking down. But nice. But thank you guys for your patience, and more things will be announced. Hopefully, my girlfriend's daughter's boyfriend, who's also the artist for the last Stones Throw issue, is coming back this Friday. So I give him a week for that, and then I'm gonna harass him for the cover. And hopefully the Unalive the algorithm will be coming out, so there's still time to submit work. So thank you guys very much, and more to be announced. Let's get the wave in, and goodbye to a brutal August in so many ways, and let's get ready for September and for a new season, quite literally, as Stone Soup Poets. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time. Show's over. Gotta go.